15 uses for walking sticks. Hey, my friends, what's going on? In my area, they're typically referred to as something that's in between the size of a cane and a staff. But it just depends on where you live in the world that your definition of a walking stick will probably vary. Now, my traditional definition is something that is about shoulder height and it's made out of wood. But of course, you can buy commercial variants that are made in a lot of different materials. Alternative terms and variations of the walking stick are also including these. The trekking pole, the pilgrim staff, a hiking pole, hiking stick, ash plant, blackthorn, devil's walking stick, a supplejack, kebble, a wansy, a pike staff, scout staff, and a waddy. And those are just different ones. I've kind of realized that there's a lot of different variations when I looked into this, and there's a whole bunch more than I've talked about here. And I just want to go into the uses now. So just 15 uses. The first is a stabilizer, a walking support, if you will, so that when you go over uneven terrain, up and down hills or across waterways, you have a means to kind of stable your body. Number 2, a makeshift fishing pole, especially during an emergency. If you're stuck somewhere and you have some fishing line and a hook, but you just don't have a fishing pole, you can just use your walking stick. A shelter support, especially if you have like a tarp system and you don't have a way to keep one side up, you could use your walking stick. Improvised spear, especially if it's a wood walking stick, you could shave down one end and use that. A means to carry a bag or other gear. You can also use it as a navigation landmark. You can just attach maybe like a bandana or a bright piece of clothing to it and stake it in the ground. You can also use it to make a stretcher. Use it to hold a lantern or to make a torch. Use it as part of a fulcrum to hang a pot over a campfire. You could use it to create emergency fire tinder, especially if it's made out of wood. And it can also be used to clear obstacles when hiking. You might have thorns, bushes, limbs, spider webs, and just basically to feel for obstacles as well in low light environments. Number 12 is to keep wild animals at a distance for personal defense, but besides defense, it could be used also for offensive personal protection use. Number 13 is to use it as a probe to check the depth of snow, ice, mud, also to check consistency of the ground so that you may not find yourself bogged down. There's some places in the world that have quicksand, and you really don't want to be a victim of that. Number 14 is to carry survival and camping gear, such as cordage, a whistle, and a light source on the body of the walking stick. And lastly, number 15 is to use it as means or part of a signal pole for rescue applications. You can attach a bright piece of clothing, a bandana or whatever to that end of one of your walking sticks. You could even put a torch on the end or a light source and wave it from side to side to help get attention from rescue crew. So these are my 15 uses for a walking stick. As always, thanks for watching.